I-24 News Morning Edition, this February 1st, 2016, very important month. Chen Lieberman is in studio with us.
Good morning.
Looking gorgeous and sprinkly and whatnot. Sorry, and
I'll say thank you. I'll just
say thank you. Exactly. Accept the
compliment.
compliments, but you cannot beat the look of Johnny Cash right here. Yoav Borovic. She
beats me easily.
She beats you every time. Yoav Borovic, I-24 News sports analyst. Good morning. What do you have for us?
Okay, we have the Australian Open final from yesterday.
Finally.
The biggest event, yeah. The biggest event in world tennis, the first big event of the year. We're talking the first major Grand Slam. And Saturday we had a great game in the women's final. Just unbelievable game, unbelievable upset where Angelique Kerber beat Serena Williams.
Finally. I'm sorry, it is a horrible thing to say, but somebody beat Serena Williams.
She usually wins, that's true. It was a huge upset, but the day later, there was no upset. Novak Djokovic really thrashed Andy Murray 3-0 in the finals. And we're talking now this great Serb who's 28 years old, Novak Djokovic, already with 11 major titles, 11 Grand Slams. He is basically chasing Rafael Nadal, who has 14, and the great Roger Federer, who has 17. Nobody ever imagined that Novak Djokovic will be able to be better than those two, because those two were considered the best not only of their era, but the best of all time. So this is why what he's doing right now is so tremendous. And you know, the country of Serbia, we know it's a poor country, it's a war-torn country. People really have
much to cling on to when it comes to prestige and honor.
Yeah, people really have tough lives there economically and on all fronts. And you know, the way that they really embrace Novak Djokovic, he became the symbol. He became the number one person in this country. They love him so much. There's also, you know, he's also an actor. He's a very talented guy. Whenever he speaks,
he's an actor? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He acts in a drama in Serbia about a Serbian leader like a few centuries ago. He's just very, very talented in everything he does. And
a question to you though about this Australian Open, because it comes on the heels of a scandal. It comes on the heels of a scandal that broke open just about, I think, a week ago.
Exactly. Yeah. 2 weeks ago when the Australian Open started, we heard that 16 out of the top 50 tennis players in the world were involved to some extent in match fixing.
Right.
We don't know their names, but Novak Djokovic came out and said 8 years ago, I was offered by people who contacted my representatives, they offered me $200,000 to lose a tennis match. Now, I was very young. I was not as rich as I am now, but I still refused to do it. But you know, at real time, he didn't come to the bosses of the World Tour and said, I was contacted. He said it now. So we know there's a lot of monkey business in tennis, but we know with this guy, he's not selling any games because he's winning them all.
And we have him, his reaction post-win. Let's have a listen.
Mr. Roy Emerson, who is not here with us tonight, but we miss him. We miss you, Roy. It's a great privilege to equal and even and match the record of 6 Australian Opens as one of the greatest players to ever play this game. So
yeah, he's taking home $3 million, which adds to, you know,
$3 million single. Just kidding. Okay.
No, he's not.
I'm just asking for Chen. And yeah, you're welcome. And moving along.
Moving along to another great winner and very famous guy in world sports. We're talking Leo Messi, of course. He just scored another goal, you know. He just doesn't stop scoring. We see him here embracing Luis Suarez. They were beating Atletico Madrid in the biggest game in Spain on Saturday.
Right.
And you know, Barcelona are leading now the table by 4 points. After winning the treble, they're big favorites to win it again. It just doesn't stop, you know. This team is so dominant. It has the best 3 players in the world. We're also talking Neymar. We have a Brazilian, an Uruguayan, and an Argentinian. 3 South American players who are totally dominating European soccer. And let's move now to another story relating to Leo Messi. You know, a few weeks ago, there was a picture of a young kid in war-torn Afghanistan in a rural area. You see like bombings around, and the kid who's photographed from the back is wearing a Messi shirt, and nobody knew who the kid was. Nobody knew who the kid. Now the kid was found because basically his uncle in Australia just got the picture on Twitter. Nobody knew who the kid is, and now Messi, who saw the pictures, this is the original picture. Messi now said, I really love this picture, and I want to meet this kid. I want to bring him to Spain, to Barcelona. I want him to watch a game. The whole world is basically moved by this young...
You know, the only thing that came into my mind, and it's bittersweet, and I'm going to say this, I hope every child in a war-torn country is going to wear a Messi shirt. to possibly be taken out of those places.
And it comes to show us again how football is an international language. Sure. And you know, in places that are rich and places that are poor, and if there's a war, if there isn't, football is always popular. Football can be utilized in so many ways.
To unify
yeah,
people.
and even
to send
talking
messages.
about our situation here, you know, because football is a shared passion by Palestinians, by Israelis. Not enough is done to utilize football
to
in the
utilize
best
football
way.
as a bridge.
And let's move from our football to American football.
Please.
We're
Here
talking.
it comes.
We're talking the Super Bowl, of course.
Yes.
6 days from today, you'll be watching it.
Of course, and you know I'm watching it.
Of course,
You
it's
know
a
why?
Super
No,
Bowl.
for the commercials.
Oh.
Okay. Yes.
Super Bowl party at your place.
Super Bowl is huge. Yeah. Super Bowl.
Yeah,
is-
Super Bowl today in America is a national holiday.
It is.
It's way beyond sports. People who care nothing for sports or for football are watching this game because they watch it, as you mentioned, for the commercials.
And it's a
every
great
30.
Party.
It's a great
It's a great
party.
party.
I'm craving celery sticks right now.
I'll bring you some.
Yeah, nachos and salsa and,
And
beer,
salsa.
and we all. It's a lot of fun.
Huge upset on that front as well. I think somebody apologized for not making it to the finals, right?
Apologizing?
No, somebody apologized in American football for not making it to the finals. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Who's not making it in? The Patriots.
The Patriots are not making it in. Yeah, of course. The
Do
big
I
favorites.
know my football or do I know my football?
You do.
Okay.
They lost last week. The
Bingo.
two teams that made it are Denver Broncos and
Right.
Carolina Panthers. Now we're talking a very interesting matchup here between the great, legendary Peyton Manning, maybe the best quarterback of all time, who's 39, against a young stud, a very young quarterback from Carolina Panthers, a big guy, a black quarterback. We know that usually in the past, predominantly quarterbacks were white.
Or the
now
white
it's
American sport. Yeah.
Exactly. Now it's shifting. So we got Cam Newton, who comes to the Super Bowl, says, I'm the favorite. He is actually the favorite.
Right.
And, you know, Coldplay will be playing in halftime. Beyonce will be there. Just a huge party. 50% ratings almost in the U.S. Just, you know, it's the richest sport in the world because of those mega events that transcend sports.
And as you said, you know, it's become a national holiday. There's Christmas and then there's the Super Bowl entirely. Yael Lavie, I want to thank you, and we're probably going to schlep you into the studio yet again on the Super Bowl day. Stay with us as we move along to the woman who will analyze everything you need to know on the diplomatic map, and that is Chen Lieberman. Actually, culture contributor, I just wanted to throw you off.
Yeah.
Channel 10, Israeli Channel 10's culture correspondent. Please take it away.
Good morning. So there is politics and culture, and we'll talk
Definitely.
about it soon. But let's first start with the Sundance Film Festival, where we have some Israeli pride within all the BDS movement. The Israeli movie Sandstorm won the international competition at Sundance. We can see some pictures from the film. It's about two Bedouin women, a mother and daughter, who live in a very
Dilapidated situation.
Exactly, and they're trying to change their destiny within that community. But what we're seeing right now is the Sundance Film Festival, and not the community where these women live.
Here,
and it's the debut film, debut feature film for this director, female director. She lived with the Bedouin women for a few years. Her mom is a photographer who did a project about Bedouin women, so that's why she related to that story, and that's what she brought to Sundance. Some people were saying, well, Sundance Film Festival is sending a lot of movies to the Oscars. It doesn't mean that this movie is going to go to the Oscars. First, it has to win the audience, the Israeli audience, and it has to be nominated for the Israeli Oscars.
Exactly.
And then, if it gets the Israeli Oscars, then it might
Let's
let's
take a look at this, and this is a clip from within the film.
Yes.
And it just won Sundance. This is an important event. Let's take a look. Sandstorms.
أنا جليل يا مرت سليمان الأولى مبروك
Just to make the distinction for those of you who did not realize, there is no Israeli Oscars, although you made the right point there, the Israeli Academy Awards, which would be like the Israeli Oscars.
Right.
Yeah.
We use the term Israeli Oscars because that's what relates the audience to it. That's what makes it more interesting and important for people to actually care about it.
Speaking of Sandstorm Oscar or Academy Awards on the Israeli front, we're talking about a film that just won Sundance, and that's a remarkable thing.
Yeah, Sundance is the most important film in the indie films industry, and it also got distribution in Europe, so we're going to hear more about this film. Okay. But now let's talk about the real Oscars. Before the real Oscars, there's the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Oscars, of course. Okay.
Yeah, yes. So we have the real Oscars in less than a month, February 28th, and before that we had the Screen Actors Guild Awards. That is the third most important award show, I think. Of award season. Although it has... Well, it's more reliable than the Golden Globes. If a film wins the SAG Awards, it makes more sense that it will win the Oscars. The Golden Globe doesn't really, it doesn't count anymore.
But it's a great party to drink
It's a great party. They have Ricky Gervais. Who needs more than that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Spotlight won the Ensemble of the Year at the SAG Awards. So that makes, that gives it higher chances to win the Oscars.
Everybody's buzzing about Spotlight in many ways.
It's a great film.
It's a great film. I'm sorry, Shai Ringel is not in studio with us. He disagrees.
He disagrees. Did you watch the film? It's a great film.
It's a great film.
So it's between the Spotlight and The Big Short. The Revenant probably not going to win the Oscars. The Revenant.
That's our prediction, right? That's Chen Lieberman's prediction.
No, the prediction. My prediction is Spotlight.
Your prediction is
Spotlight? I said it right here. You have it documented. The Spotlight is going to win.
That's what I want.
I'm hoping the Spotlight is going to win. Leonardo DiCaprio will probably win the best actor in the best actor category because he has to. It's going to be really embarrassing if he.
It's going to be really embarrassing, and if I were him, if he doesn't win this Oscar, I would stray away from.
Boycott the Oscars. Just boycott the Oscars because everybody's doing it anyway. It will be so funny if after the whole
shebang, it would be Leonardo DiCaprio,
the Will
the white
Smith,
man.
Jada Pinkett, Spike Lee, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Have you seen The Revenant? That's what I want to ask.
I've seen The Revenant. Yeah. It's it feels like a movie where the director is he's a very talented director, Iñárritu, and he was like, I want to party with this thing. So the producers were like, yeah, take this money, take all our money and just like go and party with it.
But I don't know how long it is, but it's 2 hours of Leonardo DiCaprio suffering, essentially.
Yes, exactly. Okay. But there is no real story there.
No, there's a lot of suffering.
Yeah, a lot of suffering, beautiful shots, no story.
No story.
No story.
Like life itself, no. But,
but I live life. When you go to the movies, you want to see something else.
Something slightly different.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio is going to win. Brie Larson, Best Actress. But what was really interesting about the SAG Awards is the diversity. 4 black actors and actresses won in different categories. You also have television categories in the SAG Awards, so that makes more sense. It brings more options. But for everybody who said, well, there were no black nominees to the Oscars because there were no black actors good appearances or good movies about black communities, well, that's wrong. You see Idris Elba. He won twice in the SAG Awards, twice for Luther and the miniseries Luther, and for Beasts of No Nation, the Netflix movie. Amazing film.
Amazing film that everybody's wondering, why it didn't get more play in other award shows. Right. Yeah.
So you have him.
And he should just win for being absolutely gorgeous. There, I said that.
I know.
Yes, I know.
And he was, there's a talk about him being the next James Bond, but then the author of the James Bond book said he's too street.
He's too street.
To play James Bond.
I don't know.
Too street.
Oh.
Too street. Yeah.
I grew up on the street and I still drink my martini, stirred up and not shaken, and shaken, not stirred, and 2 olives.
Okay.
Yeah, there we went. I want to thank you for being here this morning.
Welcome.
And we've got 1 minute left, so just looking up, Oscars are coming up when?
February 28th.
February 28th, yes. And I think we'll probably be seeing you then. It's one day, February 28th. Something to watch for, Let's hope Leonardo DiCaprio wins. That was it for us this morning. Of course, do not forget to tune in tomorrow to start your day with another morning edition. Check us out on all those social networks, Facebook, Twitter, whatnot, and stay with the channel for the news for the rest of the day. Thank you.